Claire had what most people would call the perfect life. A beautiful home in the suburbs, a successful husband, Ryan, and a thriving career in finance. They'd been married for 8 years. 8 years of laughter, trips, and memories. To anyone looking from the outside, their life seemed flawless, but as we know, appearances can be deceiving. Claire and Ryan met in college. He was the charming law student, always surrounded by friends, and she was the ambitious finance major. They were the couple everyone admired, the kind who finished each other's sentences, who seemed to know what the other was thinking with just a glance. After graduation, their lives only got better. Ryan landed a job at a top law firm, and Claire was promoted to lead financial analyst at her firm. They bought their dream house, threw amazing parties, and planned for a future that included starting a family. Things were good, really good. Claire had always believed that the key to a happy marriage was trust, and for the first few years, she had that with Ryan. But then, things started to change. It began with small things. Ryan started working late more often. He'd leave for work earlier than usual, claiming he needed to get a jump on the day. Claire, always understanding, didn't question it. After all, Ryan's career was demanding, and she trusted him completely. But then there were the business trips. At first, they were sporadic, once every couple of months. But over the last year, they'd become more frequent, sometimes lasting over a week. Each time, Ryan reassured her. Ryan, casual, dismissive. Just another trip, babe. The client's a big deal. I'll be home before you know it. Claire tried to ignore the growing sense of unease, but deep down she couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. One evening, while Ryan was away on another business trip, Claire was sitting on the couch reading through some work emails when her phone rang. It was an unknown number. Normally she'd let it go to voicemail, but something compelled her to answer. Claire, curious. Hello. Mysterious woman, nervous. Hi. Is this Claire? Claire, confused. Yes, who's this? The woman on the other end of the line hesitated for a moment, then spoke quickly, almost as if she was scared. Mysterious woman, anxious. My name is Lucy. I think you need to know something about Ryan. Claire's heart raced. She didn't recognize the name, but the woman's tone sent a chill down her spine. Lucy explained that she had met Ryan through work, and over the past several months they'd grown close. Too close. Lucy, guilty. I didn't know he was married at first. When I found out, I tried to end it, but he keeps coming back. He tells me he's going to leave you, that you're more like roommates than husband and wife. Claire was speechless. Her mind raced, trying to make sense of what she was hearing. Could it be true? Ryan, cheating on her? The man she had built her life with? She hung up the phone, her hands trembling. Claire didn't want to believe it, but she also knew she couldn't ignore it, so she did something she had never done before. She went through Ryan's emails. Claire wasn't proud of what she was doing, but she needed answers. And what she found only confirmed her worst fears. Dozens of emails between Ryan and Lucy, some professional, but others far from it. They talked about secret dinners, weekend getaways, and worst of all, Ryan had promised Lucy that he'd leave Claire after one last business trip. Claire's world came crashing down. The man she had loved, trusted, had built her life around, was living a lie. But as the initial shock wore off, something inside her shifted. Claire wasn't just going to confront Ryan, she was going to get even. Claire knew she couldn't let Ryan walk all over her. She had given 8 years of her life to this marriage, and if he was going to betray her like this, she wasn't going to sit back and take it. She called up her lawyer, gathered all the evidence, every email, every message, every receipt from their business trips. Claire was smart, methodical. She knew the divorce would take time, but she was going to come out of it stronger. But that wasn't enough for Claire. No. She wanted Ryan to feel the betrayal, so she devised a plan. Ryan's birthday was coming up in 2 weeks, and they were planning a big party at their home. All their friends, family, and colleagues would be there. Claire smiled to herself as she thought about what she would do. It was the perfect opportunity. The day of the party arrived. Claire was calm, composed. She greeted guests, made small talk, and acted like the loving wife. Ryan, of course, was clueless, smiling and chatting with everyone, completely unaware of what was about to happen. After dinner, Claire stood up to make a toast. She smiled warmly at Ryan, who raised his glass, expecting the usual loving words of praise. Claire, calm, steady. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Ryan, you've been such an amazing husband these past 8 years. You've built a beautiful life with me. Or so I thought. The room went silent. Ryan's smile faded as Claire reached into her pocket and pulled out a stack of papers. Claire, cold, resolute. But it seems you've also built something else on the side. These are emails between Ryan and his girlfriend, Lucy. You know Lucy, right, Ryan? The one you've been sneaking off to see on your business trips. The guests gasped. Ryan stood frozen, his face turning pale. Ryan, stammering. Claire, I can explain. Claire, cutting him off. No need to explain, Ryan. It's all here in black and white, and I'll be seeing you in court. With that, Claire turned and walked out of the room, leaving Ryan to face the stunned crowd. Claire had planned her exit perfectly, or so she thought. But just when she believed she had the upper hand, life threw her a curveball. A week after the party, Claire received a call from Ryan's lawyer. She expected it to be about the divorce, but instead, she was hit with news she never saw coming. Lawyer, serious. Mrs. Claire, I'm afraid I have some troubling information. Ryan didn't just cheat on you with Lucy. He's been leading a double life. He's in deep financial trouble, and he's taken out loans in both of your names. Claire's stomach dropped. Not only had Ryan betrayed her emotionally, but he had also betrayed her financially. He had drained their joint accounts and taken out massive loans, all while pretending everything was fine. Suddenly, the divorce wasn't just about moving on. It was about saving herself from the financial disaster Ryan had created. Claire's world, already shattered, crumbled even further. Claire was devastated, but she was also determined. She had survived Ryan's emotional betrayal, and now she would have to fight to recover from the financial mess he had left her in. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting for her future. She met with her lawyer again, this time focusing on how to protect herself from the debt Ryan had racked up. She worked tirelessly with financial advisors, spending sleepless nights reviewing documents and uncovering more of Ryan's deceit. It was exhausting, but Claire wasn't the kind of woman to give up. She thought about the life they had once shared, the dreams they had built together, and how easily it had all crumbled. But in that reflection, Claire found strength. The Claire who had relied on Ryan was gone. She was becoming someone new, someone stronger, smarter, and more self-reliant. 6 months into the divorce process, Claire and Ryan met in court. Ryan, looking worn down from his own legal battles, seemed like a shell of the man he had once been. His charm was gone, replaced by the weight of his lies catching up to him. Claire, on the other hand, was ready. She had gathered everything she needed, proof of his affairs, the financial records, and witnesses to back up her claims. She wasn't just asking for a clean break. She was asking for justice. Judge, serious final. Given the evidence presented, the court rules in favor of the plaintiff, Mrs. Claire, in all matters of property and financial restitution. Mr. Ryan will be responsible for the debts incurred and for alimony payments to Mrs. Claire. Claire sat in the courtroom feeling a sense of relief wash over her. It wasn't just about the money, it was about reclaiming her life, her dignity, and her future. Ryan had tried to destroy her, but in the end, he had only destroyed himself. After the court ruling, Claire received a message from someone unexpected, Lucy, the other woman. At first, Claire didn't want anything to do with her, but curiosity got the best of her, and she agreed to meet. Lucy, now fully aware of the web of lies Ryan had spun, was just as broken as Claire had been. But she wasn't there to ask for forgiveness. She was there to make amends. Lucy, apologetic. "I didn't know, Claire. I swear I didn't know about all of this. He told me so many lies, just like he did with you." Claire listened, her emotions mixed. She could see the pain in Lucy's eyes, and in a strange way it gave her comfort. They had both been victims of Ryan's deceit, and somehow knowing that Lucy had suffered too made it all seem a little less personal. Claire, soft but firm. "I believe you, Lucy, but I'm done letting Ryan control my life. It's time we both move on." With the divorce finalized and the financial mess slowly being cleaned up, Claire finally began to move forward. She sold the house that once held so many memories, bought a smaller place downtown, and threw herself into her work. But this time, it wasn't just about climbing the corporate ladder. Claire started a side business, coaching women who had gone through similar betrayals, helping them find their own strength and resilience. She realized that while Ryan had broken her trust, he hadn't broken her spirit. And the life she was building now, it wasn't built on lies or deception, it was built on truth, self-respect, and a new sense of purpose. But just when Claire thought she had left Ryan behind for good, she received an email. It was from a private investigator. The message was simple but chilling. Ryan wasn't just unfaithful. There's more you need to know. Curiosity got the better of Claire, and she decided to meet with the investigator. What she found out shocked her to her core. Ryan hadn't just been cheating with Lucy. He had been involved in a series of fraudulent business deals. The reason for all his trips, all the late nights at work, wasn't just another woman. He was in deep with some dangerous people. Investigator, serious. "I'm sorry to tell you this, Mrs. Claire, but it looks like Ryan was being blackmailed. The loans he took out in your name. He didn't spend all of it on himself. Some of it went to pay off people who were threatening him." Claire was stunned. She thought she had finally understood the depth of Ryan's betrayal, but this was something entirely new. He hadn't just destroyed their marriage. He had put both of their lives in danger. As Claire processed this new information, she realized something else. If Ryan was being blackmailed, the people behind it might come after her next. She had to act quickly. With the investigators' help, Claire went to the authorities and provided everything she had learned. It wasn't just about her safety anymore, it was about putting an end to Ryan's dangerous games once and for all. The investigation moved swiftly, and within months the people who had been extorting Ryan were arrested. Claire finally felt a sense of closure, knowing that chapter of her life was truly over. With Ryan out of her life, both emotionally and legally, Claire could finally breathe again. She wasn't the same woman she had been before the betrayal, but in many ways, she was stronger. She had survived lies, manipulation, and even danger. But now she was ready for something new. Claire took a trip to Italy, a dream she had put off for years. She spent weeks traveling, rediscovering herself, and embracing the new life she had fought so hard to build. And for the first time in a long time, Claire felt truly free. Claire's story wasn't just one of betrayal, it was a story of resilience. A story of a woman who, when faced with unimaginable challenges, chose not to be a victim but a survivor. And in the end, that's what made her stronger. Share your thoughts and experience below in the comment section. If you liked the story, do like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get the latest update.